What we're going to talk about today is Matt's going to go through some of the efficiency gains with AI. So, how do we think about our prospects and making sure that we keep things up to date? And what is that efficiency gains that we can see? Then I'll go through some of the top scenarios. We've got two really cool scenarios that we can walk through that really focus on tying not only the actions that AI does, but tying that back down to the business value and really what our sales goals are. And then we'll wrap up talking about how do we align those KPIs into those AI actions that we have and talk about what are some of the go forward actions that we can do.
And really what I love is your examples really kind of show that KPI alignment. It's kind of very exciting.
Very exciting. All right, Matt, I'm going to hand it over to you to talk about some of the efficiency gains with AI.
Yeah, great. So I'm just going to start with almost general AI comments and the ways of thinking and ways of aligning AI in our sales world. And efficiency in CRMs, especially sales CRMs, has always been a pain point. Erin and I have been doing this, as we said, a long time. That's always been a struggle. And the reason that is aligned to this first point. Sellers say, 79% of sellers say they spend most of their time on administrative or non-selling, or what Erin likes to say, non-revenue generating activities. It's always been a problem with CRMs. AI is finally an amazing solution to this problem. But back to this way of thinking about what AI can do for you, to address that efficiency problem, we want to use AI first to decrease that amount of time that sellers are using on admin or non-selling activities. The most common one we've heard for years, as long as CRM has existed, don't turn me into a data entry specialist. I'm a seller. So that data entry and CRM updates and digging around for reports or internal meetings, we're going to see some cool stuff around that today, or order processing, or digging through and sifting through emails or paperwork like RFPs. Also some cool stuff we're going to see. Let's decrease that amount of time, and then in turn increase that amount of time we have for those revenue generating activities like prospecting and customer relationships. Like, how many times have you heard sellers say, I wish I could build better relationships, spend more time doing that? Doing in-depth discovery and understanding pain points, which then turn into better quality solutions and better strategic thinking about how to sell. So that's one way, really critical thought process around how to apply AI to sales. Get your sellers more efficient and productive.
What I really like about this too is it takes that tactical piece of data entry and order and it moves it to that strategic thinking. So I think that last bullet point that you have is thinking more strategic, as how do I really get to know my customer and what their needs are. I like that.
Yeah, and that really relates to the next point about ways of thinking. It really kind of aligns understanding AI and understanding people. And I love this. I admit I steal this. I've heard Charles Amana say this a number of times. Have AI do what computers are good at. Have people do what people are good at. People are good at that strategic stuff. Computers, AI, have the AI help you do that data analysis, synthesizing large amounts of data really quickly. We're going to see some of that today. Sifting through lots of documents. I've seen examples in meetings. Oh, I know the perfect document. If I had it, I could show it to my prospect. Quick, you're in a Teams meeting, find it, you're ready to show it. Like, just synthesizing a lot of documents and data. Predictive analytics, automating repetitive tasks. We mentioned that one already. We're going to see that today. Image and speech recognition, and making objective, straight to the point decisions based on data. AI should be helping you with all of that. Whereas people, they're good at tasks that require emotional intelligence, creativity, strategic problem solving, reacting to social cues, again, building those interpersonal relationships, and then thinking outside the box or outside what the data says. Okay, the data says this, but I know Joe was very emotional and inspirational when he talked about this point, so I'm making this decision based on his emotional reaction, maybe outside the data. That nuanced decision making. So AI do what computers are good at, people do it, and combined, they're very powerful. Don't let AI do everything for you. Use it to make you smarter and you better.
Absolutely. I love it.
So next, I love quotes. I saw these two and wanted to add them. Efficiency is doing better what is already being done. I think that's such a prescient quote. It was quoted 30 years ago. I love Peter Drucker. But it's so applicable to what AI is doing for us nowadays. We're really not doing a lot of new stuff, but AI is allowing us to do it all better. Like, it's just such a powerful quote for AI. And then kind of as a segue to what we're going to talk about next, this alignment to measuring our sales goals with KPIs. The things that get measured are the things that get done. That's the powerful outcome of AI, and we're going to start seeing that right now. So I'm going to hand over to you, Erin, to start showing us some of these scenarios.
I always love when you end on quotes, Matt. It just builds that anticipation. Excellent. So we're going to take a look at a couple of the top sales scenarios that we have, and we're going to be using Copilot in all of those. First, I want to level set a little bit and talk about kind of our sales goals and KPIs. And I know Matt's going to get into this a little bit later, but I just wanted to talk real quick. Sales goals shouldn't change. KPIs shouldn't change with the use of AI and Copilot. Those are your goals for what your business needs to do. KPIs are how we measure that. The actions that we take can be used by Copilot, can be used by AI. Yeah. The actions are what the KPIs are measuring. So that, I think, is a very important piece to look at, is that the goals and the KPIs don't change. How you meet those KPIs is what we can start to utilize.
Kind of like a lab, experimental. Try new things to drive better data into those KPIs. Yeah.
Absolutely. So today in our value map, there's 4 different pillars: revenue generating, cost reduction, transformative, and risk reduction. We're going to focus on some of our revenue generating sales goals. And specifically for this organization, it's improving contact information and contact accuracy to maybe drive some more additional marketing, additional depth in your clients, and then improve our opportunity value and decrease the time to close. All right, so our first scenario, our sales goal is to increase the number of contacts at each customer so that we can help our sales and marketing efforts. There's a lot of reasons that having that contact information can help a business, not only in sales and marketing, but the more in-depth you have in those relationships in your customer, that could lead to additional opportunities. It can lead to additional revenue streams for you. Some of the ways that we can measure that is just a straight, hey, how many contacts do we have in the next 12 weeks? So we're going to roll out AI, we're going to roll out Copilot. I want to measure from now until the end of that 12 weeks and see if we've increased from the previous 12 weeks, how many contacts we're getting in the system. So the action that's going to impact that KPI is really adding that contact in from Outlook. And then we're going to also look at some actions of updating opportunity information so that we can make sure that our pipeline is accurate as well. So within Outlook, which is where I spend most of my day, I can see that I have an email in from a contact that I didn't have before. So Erin Kelly, yes, that's me. I emailed Amanda, and now she's going to go ahead and put me into her system. So you'll see it pulls not only my title, but I can go ahead and find, oh, she works at Stoneridge, and quickly add in that information right into Dynamics. I don't have to go out to Dynamics. I don't have to, find that company and go ahead and add in Erin. I can even put a note in that I'm fantastic and great to work with. And then I can see all the information here on that particular contact, any other emails that have come in. And I think the most profound quote that I have when we did this for one customer was, this is an activity that we never would have done. So it's not even an increase in efficiency. It is actual net new contact information and data, which was on that list that you had, Matt, right? I don't want to be a data machine and going out, opening up Outlook, adding all that information in. Our sales team most likely wouldn't have gone in and added me into their contact. They would have just replied back and forth.
Yeah.
And now we have that data in our system.
Drive the data in.
Our next scenario is really where we've gone back and forth with Amanda, and now our project is going really well, but we at Stoneridge are going to need some new coffee makers. So I said, hey, Amanda, we've done business together. Let's go ahead and buy some coffee makers from you. So Amanda has emailed this to Amy, the sales rep, and Amy is going to go ahead and read through that email. You'll see that Copilot has now summarized that information and actually pulled out information from that email that says, hey, alert, you might need to update your opportunity. So it has tied this to that opportunity, and I can go right into that opportunity, into Dynamics. I don't have to go find it, see who it's associated with. It brings me right to that specific opportunity. And now I can go in and update on this record the estimated close date and the new revenue. And why that's important is I may have that email that sits in my inbox for a day or two, and then I say, oh, okay, that's great. Am I actually going to open up Dynamics and then update my pipeline and go through and do estimated close dates, estimated revenue? I probably do that right before all of my my weekly or bi-weekly sales meeting, right?
Yeah.
But now I can do that right from my Outlook, and I can go ahead and make sure that that update happens. So I'm more accurate in my pipeline. I'm not going to get that call from my sales manager saying, hey, when was the last time you updated your opportunities? I can go ahead and do that right from my inbox.
I'm loving this. You start hearing a lot of people saying AI is the new, AI is the new UI. As you can see, you're doing a lot more of your CRM work and automated data entry and stuff from the user interfaces that you use most every day, like Outlook and Teams. We'll see in a little bit.
Absolutely. And so what I'm taking a look at is, if I look at all of the KPIs that I'm looking at, that we have measured, the value that that gives to me is making sure that I'm more accurate on the revenue, which means that I also will probably be increasing that revenue, right? Accuracy leads to more predictable opportunity revenue. And then that contact data completeness. A lot of times we might get a name here and there, if at all, but really being able to do that one click really gets that completeness of data, because AI is pulling that information from signature lines. And then that increase in pipeline accuracy. Our next scenario really is making sure that, one, we have the information that we need at our fingertips. A little bit about this is making sure that I can find things quick, but also working on the right deal at the right time. How do I know that I'm working on the deal that's the best one for me to work on right now, so that I can close it fast and increase that revenue? So our sales goal is increase revenue and then decrease the time to close on those opportunities. A lot of times that decrease means, how do I remove roadblocks? What is the bottleneck on my opportunities, and how do I get those bottlenecks removed so that we can close? So our KPI that we're going to measure is, I want to see a decrease in my time to close and an increase in my revenue per opportunity. So that might be cross-sell, upsell, suggesting new things, and making my way through that opportunity process. So I'm going to go ahead and start in Dynamics, actually, and we're going to go ahead and use our Copilot here to help me look at what I should do for my day. So I asked it to show me my pipeline, and here I could see my pipeline by estimated close date. So I know which ones I need to address first. I can go in and see a summary of those opportunities here as well. So I can see all of the relevant information, and then I can also see some of that extra data. What have we done on this opportunity? What is that key information? And then be able to copy that and paste it into an email. I could go ahead and send that link to someone as well. The next thing I want to do is I want to see my hot leads. So what are those leads that are the ones I should be working on right now, so I can get those into my pipeline? So the system's going to go through and look at, hey, there's some hot leads that are out here. Susanna, she contacted us, a couple weeks ago, so I really need to get back to her. The other opportunities that we have are in these prompts, and these are all predefined prompts with Microsoft. So I can stay ahead of the game and stay attached. What do I need to look at? What do I need to do? One of the other things is I can go ahead and research and look at my accounts. So I'm going to do some research here on Stoneridge. What's the latest news for Stoneridge? So not only can it go in and look at your business's information, but it also will go out to the web and pull out information that's relevant to your customer. So if your customer has been on, the Stephen Award Investment Conference that we presented at, we've got all of the different awards that we've got, but all of that information at Stoneridge for your customer, you'll be able to see here as well.
Having a conversation with AI, that's what's happening.
Yeah. Now, the next one is where I get a little excited because this one's kind of fun. As we've gone back and forth with Amanda, it turns out we're going to actually have to do an RFP. So one of the things that I can see here from the email is I've emailed Amy that this is what our RFP requirements are for those coffee makers. So Amy can go ahead and start to take a look at that. Now, RFPs, can be very painful. And so one of the nice things that we have in Copilot is I can start to use that to find the information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload into Copilot that RFP, and I'm going to say, hey, take a look at this file, go out to our product information, whether that's in SharePoint, whether it's going to be on the web, whether it's going to be in our secure pieces, whatever I have access to in work and in the web. And I want you to build me out a table that's going to show the requirements from the RFP and our products. So in this case, our products of the Brewmaster 2000 and the Brewmaster 5000. And then I want it to match up those requirements with that. Now, this is something that would take, hours. Depending on how many requirements you have, we get them in their 1,000 lines. This could take a long time. But I want it to go ahead and show me the information so I can start to edit, because edit is a lot easier than create. And so now I can go through and see those requirements and then compare it to what we have in the 2000 and the 5000. But now I'm going to go ahead and add to this, and I want it to actually pull in the Brewmaster 9000. This is an example of, can I upsell? Does this one meet the requirements, really extend it, but what are the benefits that they're going to get from this next level of product? So it will go through and find those requirements for the 9000 and add those into my chart. Now, a lot of times RFPs require collaboration. And so I can open this up in Pages and be able to now start to build a collaborative site with people that I can share this out with. So we can start to build out what that RFP response is going to be. So I want Copilot to actually go out and pull the Brewmaster 5000 specifications so that we can go in and see all of that detail and add it in. And so it will pull back all of those specifications, and it will also designate and note where it found the information. And so as it pulls this information back, it's going to designate and note, here's the file that I used for this, just so that if I need to go back and reference it, I can go right to that file and start to see it. You'll see that file down at the bottom, the coffee maker. And so now I can add that. If I say edit in Pages, will pop that right into that page as well. The nice thing is I could add pictures, and now I can start to make that presentation because I've got the content in here as well. If I need to pop this open into PowerPoint and be able to make a presentation, we've got PowerPoint Copilot that we can start to utilize as well.
I hear salespeople cheering all over, because how many times do you hear salespeople say, I have an RFP, it's going to take my whole day.
Right.
To respond to.
And now I'm also cutting the time where I don't have to send this out to a product expert, right? If I've got those specifications, I only need them to deal with the exceptions and not the rule. I don't need to hand over a 1,000-line RFP to a delivery team, to a product experience team and say, hey, answer all these. I can at least get them started and say, hey, these 4 questions are the exceptions. Can you answer this?
Yeah, and now you can use your time to, like you said, edit is better than create.
Yep.
You can spend some time to make it better.
To make it better and really focus on what's going to drive and hit that revenue generating activities, right? What is that mean? So when we look at the business value, there's a potential for increasing the revenue per opportunity on this, as well as making sure that we're focusing on those specific revenue generating activities.
Love it.
All right, Matt, I'm going to have you wrap us up here.
Well, Erin, those are incredible examples. And I mean, I think it's worth noting, we've just scratched the surface. AI has really been at the forefront, and Copilot, I should say, for like a year. I mean, we are in its infancy, so imagine what it's going to do. And I think the best part about what you showed and what we're talking about today is this alignment. You talked about goals and KPIs and using AI to drive the productivity, which drive the KPIs, which help you meet your sales goals. And so back to this sort of ways of thinking, like where do I start, or how do I align this AI strategy to what we do in our sales organization? Sales goals are rooted in business need, as Erin says. Yes, your sales goals might change over time, but really they shouldn't. They should because of AI. Yeah. But you can drive intelligence into those sales goals. AI can provide insights and analysis. As you saw, AI knows the context. You're having a conversation and with a large language model, and it remembers what you're saying. If you're frustrated with it, it's going to help you resolve your frustration. If you say thank you to it, it's going to say you're welcome. Like, it's understanding the contextual conversation points. So you can enhance your sales goals by using this conversational intelligence, and think of market segmentation, trend analysis, forecasting, looking at product trends, products or sales territory alignment. AI can help you with that and make you a smarter strategic seller. This is focused on that generative conversational AI stuff. But as we said, KPIs are measured by actions, the stuff that we do. And Erin showed mostly great examples of how action can drive these KPIs. And these actions tell us whether we're going to meet our sales goals. Automated, I don't even have to go over them again. Automated data entry, follow-up, the RFP thing. Come on. I mean, imagine how much time that's going to sell us. And not only are we going to save time on the RFPs, we're going to make them better. And this is really focused on where AI is going more, and that doing some of the work for you, that agentization sort of thing we're starting to hear about, as AI being our assistant and our agent. So AI agents can help us drive our KPIs. So goals and KPIs are aligned, and AI can help you drive both of them.
Matt, speaking of agents, I know that there was a bunch of agents that were just talked about at Ignite this past week, right? So I know that those are new ones that are coming out, like lead qualifications. But there's some that our customers have talked about, and it helps the integration conversation too, which I think is interesting, right? So now if I have CE and an ERP, so let's say I have F&O, right? Oh, yes. I just want to see, as a salesperson, I just want to see, okay, are they up to date on their invoices, right?
Yeah, or do they have a big AR? Should I even bother selling it to them?
Right? Yeah, I don't want to have to go in and have an integration built or go contact someone. I can go ahead and build that agent to go out into F&O and be able to pull back and just say right from my Outlook, hey, what's the current balance for this customer, and be able to use that. So it changes the conversation, not only of the automated data entry, but also of the integration pieces. I don't have to build those integrations where I'm moving data from one place to another. I just need to reach in, grab that, and report back, this is what it is. And it's all based on security, which is awesome.
Instead of clicking on our apps now, we talk to them.
Yeah.
We have conversations with them. So last, and Erin's going to laugh because the ultimate analytical trifecta, no matter what we do in this world, or especially in our business, looking at something from the people process technology perspective is so powerful. So if you're kind of wondering, where do you start? How do I think about this? Like, we don't think about our people enough. How are we structured? How do we interact? What are our roles? Like managers want more help from AI on coaching or mentoring or that analytical stuff we talked about. Sellers, we talked a lot. Sellers want to drive the KPIs, those interactions, those follow-ups. Erin and I talk a lot about the number one thing salespeople say: if I could follow up faster and better, I'll sell more.
Yeah.
Have AI help you follow up. We saw how it can do that. Record a meeting. AI will tell you, do you want me to set up a task for you to follow up with this person? It sounds to me, based on your conversations, you need to follow up. Like, just incredible ways of driving that. And engage your coworkers. It's like we always say, ask your end users. What can help them get their jobs done better? AI can help with that.
Yeah.
But process too. Process is critical to KPIs, because the more consistent your process or even your framework is, the more consistent your measurement's going to be. So think of triggers or stage gates, or bottlenecks in your process. That's where you should apply AI. Like we mentioned, lead qualification. If that's slowing up you getting through your pipeline or getting more into your pipeline, apply AI to that. And as we're going to see, these agents, these lead qualification agents that are coming out are going to help, are going to be incredible. Or the RFP process. We know RFP slows you down from selling, and we just saw today how that can help. And then technology. Again, I'm going to steal from Charles Lamanna. I listen to a lot of his stuff. Invest in tools that have built-in AI to start. Learn what AI can do with those tools that have it built in. And Microsoft is building Copilot into every tool that we use, whether it's Outlook, Teams, Dynamics, is building AI, and they're going to continue to build AI. But in addition, we always know there's always going to be customizations. So customize to align to your measurables. And this is where they're going with Copilot Studio. Is if it doesn't work out of the box, use Copilot Studio to build it. So let's say, for example, if your key to selling more is shrinking the time between when you hang up with the customer to getting them a quote, apply AI to that. Maybe AI can be listening to your phone conversation and have a quote drafted for you when you hang up. And you review it, validate it, edit it a little bit, and you got that quote off to the customer 10 minutes after you hang up. Think of that. If that's the key to you selling more, quick quotes, do it. That's probably something you have to customize now. But now, we also Erin showed a great example of using the data from within your organization. Most of what we see in AI and generative AI is using the internet now. But the more you use your data, your product specs, your manuals, your ERP data, your financial data, your sales data, the more powerful AI becomes. So tend to your data. Knowledge bases, for example.
Yes.
Very few people we work with have good knowledge. Go make them better, because they will make you better. They will make AI more effective. So people process technology is just another ultimate way to starting to think about how to apply AI to what you do.
I think the important thing on the technology is also, I'll steal a little bit of the from Charles Lamanna as well, is making sure the security components are in. Your people are using AI. They're using bots. They're using that large language models. How do I make sure that it's secure? Like, I don't want my data out there. So making sure that you've got those security components done as well on that technology piece. And Microsoft has done that just fantastic.
Yeah, incredible stuff. We are lucky to have Amanda with us today and have Microsoft as our partner, have Microsoft investing so much in Copilot and injecting, like I said, injecting AI into the tools. If you want to get started with AI, if you want to get started with Copilot with your sales organizations, we have a great offering for you. We call it our Copilot for sales, Dynamics 365 Sales Quick Start, and we'll get you up and running in 3 weeks. And essentially what we do is we don't just train you on how to use it. We spend time talking to you about your people, process, technology. How is your sales organization structured? What is your sales process? What are your pain points? What are your KPIs? And then
Did we lose?
I'm back. I'm thank God that wasn't long. I somehow lost internet, so I switched to.
Okay, was it you? I was like, okay, I couldn't remember.
It was me. Yeah, hopefully that didn't screw things up. But
it
anyways,
was like right in the middle of a sentence, so we can.
Yeah, and anyways, we talk about your KPIs, and then we do some of that. We do a whole week of having office hours to help the people after they learn it and start driving those KPIs. So here's information on here if you want to get started and you're wondering how to start. This quick start offering is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Anything else that Erin and I both worked on putting this together? Anything else to add to that, Erin?
No, I think one of the greatest things that we do is really align the out-of-the-box stuff that Microsoft has to what's going to make a difference at your organization. And so there's so much that that Copilot has. It's just which ones are going to make a difference at my organization. So I think that's the great part.
Fantastic.